It's time for a vacation, and Fairway Travels is here to share great specials for you to choose from. Discover the charm and features of one of Sandals' 16 all-inclusive, luxury included, or a family-friendly beaches destination in the Caribbean. Or how about a couples resort in Jamaica? If cruising's your preference, get thunderstroke aboard Carnival Cruise Lines or set sail on an award-winning Royal Caribbean ship now for a wonderful adults-only sailing. It doesn't matter if you choose to travel by plane, train, automobile, cruise ship, or rowboat, we can help you reach your dream destination. Contact Fairway Travels today at 228-365-1012. That's 228-365-1012 or e47@gmail.com. Fairway Travels, where your journeys keep satisfying.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities.
Welcome to the Motivated Mindset with your host, me, Jose Flores, and we are going to go into the why behind what truly drives people. I know I do. What fuels their purpose and motivation? In this podcast, we're going to explore those profound questions, uncovering the stories and insights that shape our journeys. Join me as we navigate in the depths of human secrets to living a fulfilled life, purpose, and driven. Let's get motivated. Thank you. So what's up? Welcome to the Motivated Mindset. I'm your host, Jose Flores. Que pasa? A proud Latino born in New York City, straight out of the Bronx, raised in Brooklyn. Yay. That New York flavor, that hustle, that grit. You know what I'm saying to you? But check this out. I'm a combat vet who served 30 years in the United States Army. And before we get rolling, I want to give a big salute to all my veterans and my first responders out there. Mucho respeto, much respect. You already know. These days, I wear a few hats. You like that? How you doing? I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified mediator. You got issues? Come see me. And an end-of-life doula. Check this out. Every role that I take is about one thing. Ayudando mi gente. Helping people find their why, live with purpose, and push through life battles with faith and corazón. That means heart. You like that? You can take Spanish too. But this podcast, Motivated Mindsets, is where we talk about resilience, optimism, discipline, and culture. We dive deep into that fire it takes to keep moving forward when life tries to knock you down. Levántate, mi gente, levántate. And we keep it real, New York real. You know what I'm saying? If you don't even ask somebody, yay, check this out. So it's about straight talk, Bronx humor, no sugar coating. I do like sugar, but I'm getting older, so I got to be careful what I eat. But this is when you get fired up, a little laugh a little bit, but most of all, you leave a little stronger than when you press that play button, because here it's not just about motivation, it's about transformation. So buckle up, mi gente, my people. Let's let that spirit and step into your purpose with discipline. Growth meets grit, and leaders unlock the mindset to elevate every area of their lives. Tu vida. Today, I got a phenomenal guest joining us. How you doing? I'm talking about someone who operates at the highest levels of leadership, strategy, and human potential. I'm excited to welcome TC Kuba Esquire, AIGP, CIPM. I'm getting it, the World Executive Coaching Ethical AI Leadership. TC is a powerhouse executive coach, a certified AI governance professional, and a seasoned attorney with over 25 años, 25 years of experience helping transform leaders at the intersection of technology, governance, and human behavior. She's behind the Advisory, UpwardAction Media, and the global FaithFocusFlow leadership platform. And today's episode is all about something that every leader, entrepreneur, and high achiever needs to master: mindfulness, mediation, and gratitude as a business strategy. TC is going to break down how intentional leadership practices the inner works, create clarity, build trust, and elevate team performance and drive sustainable success, especially in the hybrid AI-driven world we're all living in. Ahora means right now. So get ready to take notes, open tu mente, your mind, and level up your leadership from the inside out. Let's step into this conversation. I'm getting there because, what?
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Welcome, TC. What up? Yay.
Jose, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm motivated after listening to the intro. I'm like, where's my notebook? I need to get my Spanish up. Like, I love it. Oh my gosh. Before I say anything else, thank you for your service. Thank you so much for your service and for your commitment to freedom here.
Thank you. No, I'm so honored and humbled to have you here. But I know mi gente, my people want to know who you are, where you're from. Tell us about your upbringing.
Oh my gosh. I am from a little town in South Carolina called Hemingway, and I grew up actually out from Hemingway in the country. And so country girl, South Carolina girl, went to school in Virginia. Then I went to law school in your city, New York City, which was such an incredible experience. I loved every moment of it. I love telling people I lived in Harlem because I did for those 2 years of law school. And that's a part of just a little bit about my beginnings. Grew up with my parents, both sets of grandparents lived within walking distance, not with one set within walking distance, the other 5-minute drive, 2 younger brothers. And so family is really important to me. Family is important. Grew up in church. Church, shout out to Greatest St. Mark, AME. And so being a part of the church, being the organist for the church, that's all a part of my foundation and what makes me at the core.
That is awesome. So when did you first start thinking about, business or open this world? What was some of those triggers for you? Like, what were some of the things that happened?
So I have always been a bit entrepreneurial. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. My parents are educators at the core. Mommy, a middle school, elementary school principal. Daddy was the director of the vocational department of the high school. And my dad always had business as a part of his life. So it was real estate, and that was a part of the family. So my other uncles had business being a part of supplementing whatever they were doing in their profession. And then one of my dear uncles was a lawyer, and he poured into us, my brothers and I, and my cousins growing up. And so I had in my head, I want to be an international lawyer. I didn't really know what that was, but I wanted to be an international lawyer. Education was important, family was important, and I saw kind of business all around me. And so that's a part of how I came up in the world, right?
And I read something about you said you describe yourself as a faith-centered AI strategist, right? That's not a common combination, What made you realize these two things actually?
Oh, I love that question. Well, I started this off talking about faith, right? I grew up in the church. I grew up in a family where faith was important. And so at the core, faith is centered in whatever it is that I'm doing. Now, over the length of my career, to the bio, like 25 years. Wow, I was an infant when I started, right? Child prodigy.
Yeah.
But during my professional career, I've practiced law, I've started businesses, I've advised businesses on how to do a variety of things. But I do it all from a faith centered perspective. What
Yeah.
does that mean? It is centered, it is reflective, it is mindful that whatever it is I'm doing in business and whatever it is people are doing that I'm partnering with, it has to tie to purpose, right? The purpose has to be, I like to say this in my faith community, making the earth more like it is in heaven,
Yes.
which is the core of the Lord's Prayer. And so faith is the center. Now, the strategist is because God has blessed me to lead a career in business, right? Private sector, government, entrepreneurship as a founder. So there's a lot of has been at the core of my practice, law practice in a variety of ways. Thinking about, I love you mentioned this in the intro, human potential and how emerging technology, and the one that is the highlight of what we're all talking about now, AI, helps us to be more human from a faith perspective of making the earth more like it is in heaven, is the core of who I am, what I do, and why I do it.
Wow.
I gave you a lot of words, but I hope
you said that faith powers you as an entrepreneur. Can you talk about a time when you had to trust what you couldn't see and what happened when you did?
Oh gosh, yeah, I can. My first time in entrepreneurship, I could not totally see ahead exactly how to build a business outside of doing it alongside practicing law. But God made it clear, this was like around 2010, that was the time to do it. And I was supposed to step out and work in a particular way. And my faith was I did it without having I couldn't totally see how the business was going, how I was going to get to what God showed me. Maybe that's the way to say it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I knew speaking and training and working with lawyers is what I was supposed to be doing. I knew that time was the time to do it. I didn't necessarily see how it was going to happen. But you know what I did? I took one step. I do a training. I did that training. The clients loved it. I got booked for another training. In my prayers, I was like, okay, God, I'm doing training now. I need a mentor. I have legal mentors. I have folks that are helping me think about things. But in this business walk, not so much. What happened? I did another program for the New Jersey the New Jersey Small Development Center. I'm saying that wrong, but I met a woman in that program that I did who became my mentor, and she helped me structure the business and kind of how I was moving through the tri-state area in a way where I grew the business and I held people along. And so I don't know, that's kind of a long-winded way of saying a part of it. I saw I knew the vision. I didn't necessarily know all of the steps that were going to get me there. I started walking, and at each point, God met me.
Wow, that is deep. And when we talk about faith in God, that's everywhere, which brings me to the question about, you grew up in a small rural town, right? And how was that, now that you're a world traveler, right? How did that change your perspective, you traveling and on when what's the possibility when faith meets opportunity?
Gosh, I grew up in a small town, and my world was largely what I could see. I told you my uncle planted this idea of being an international lawyer, and I went to a school that cultivated international work, right? And so Columbia was a great place to study because there are people from all around the world. And in studying with people from around the world opened my mind to how similar and how different we are, right? There are lots of differences in culture, but at the core, people are very much the same. And this year in particular, I've taken advantage of the opportunity in a dozen countries, talking to people, leaders primarily, founders. And what I found is the things that we hope for very similar, right? The things that we want for our families and our lives, very similar. And the way that culture enriches how we see the world, different in the cultures, but similar in the impact that we want culture to have on how we live. And so the more I travel, the more I talk to people, the more I'm able to see threads of connection that tie us together. But I'm also able to see those things that are different and make us unique and diverse. And when we are our full selves, how we can be our best selves because we're able to interact with other people who share things and make us look at things in a new way. We didn't even think about looking at something that way till we saw someone else look at it that way in their culture. And it's been great.
That is stupendous. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk about how you lead with faith, in a world that's increasingly automated, right? Because I know a lot of people also have fears about, will AI replace me and so on. So when we come back, we'll talk about that. How that
sounds great.
Wow, let's break. All right.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of life. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn life, Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life, Mr. Red, White, and Blue. For these stars and stripes, hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California. Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. Stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. For these stars and stripes. Marching line.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect these. they represent.
Web at MB Radio.
Welcome back. All right. What you think of that song? I know you liked it.
I love that song. Oh my goodness. I loved it.
Hey, if I had hair, woo, it'd be standing up, but we won't go there. How you doing? Thank you very much. Okay. No. Yeah.
They're chatting it up like, oh my gosh.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And we left off at, what does it mean to lead with faith, in a world that's increasingly automated, and how do you stay grounded when everything else is moving so fast?
Gosh, yeah, that's a great question. Leading with faith when everything is automated, when we're in this world of emerging technology is first staying rooted in self and in purpose. It is staying rooted in the knowledge that you are here to make the world better, to contribute value to the world. AI, emerging technology, nothing changes that basic fact of who you are and why you are here, why you are in your profession, in the workplace. And so AI, let's talk about AI in particular. AI means that things will be different, but it does not eliminate your purpose in being here. It means that you have to upskill and reskill and think about things differently. The work that you're doing right now may not be the work that human beings are needed to do because machines can do it more efficiently, but it doesn't mean that there isn't work for you to do. And that's what's important for people to know in this world of AI. When we are seeing layoffs right across the private sector and the federal sector, it can be really scary, right? There's these layoffs. Well, AI may take the job that you're doing now, but it does not take your purpose for being here. And so this is a time, we're in a season when we get to look at ourselves and what our passions are and what we're good at doing, what we feel called and led to do, and think about how we partner with technology.
Yes.
More of that is being mindful.
Because, when we talk about, anxiety, there's a lot of anxiety there. So in your work and what you do when leaders come to you anxious about AI, what's usually what's driving the anxiety? How do you work with leaders like that? Hey, how do we shift their mindset, I guess?
People come in as fear. I've always been doing things this way. This is what I do. This is what I've been trained to do. This is what I know how to do. AI is taking over it, and I'm not going to be able to do that thing. Of what people come to me when we are in coaching programs is fear. And we start with what I really just shared. Remember who you are. You are an intelligent human being who is purpose, who is here for a reason, who is existing in this particular season, this time in the history of the world. You could be born in any time in the history of the world, but we're here at this particular time when things are shifting, and now there's an opportunity. Right? There is an opportunity.
Yes. And we have a question from someone, and it says, as AI and automation reshapes businesses, how might mindfulness and gratitude become differentiators in human-centered work?
Oh, that's such a great question. Mindfulness and gratitude really allow you to root yourself in the present while preparing for the future, right? Here's what I mean by this. So if you think about mindfulness and gratitude, I like to tell my leaders, start off your day, and I did this. I do it. I did it. I do it, right? With being intentionally grateful for the things that are going well, the things that are happening around you that you want to cultivate more of, right? And it can be small things, right? Be intentional about grounding yourself in those things, because then when you start to deal with things that are not going as well, things that you want to change, ways that AI can actually help you elevate the work that you're doing or streamlining things. And it becomes a little bit overwhelming when you're looking at all of the change and all of the things that need to be done and all of the things that aren't going well that people will point out to you. You will have started your day, your work day, from a point of gratitude and mindfulness and reflection on those things that are going well. That's how you stay rooted, right? And here's the thing. If you root yourself in truth, if you root yourself in what you know, again, to be the facts about who you are and what you're doing, it helps you when all this other stuff is swirling around and when you're dealing with all these things and people are doing things. My father tried to tell you, right, who you are. And so you stay rooted.
That's true.
So that you're not swayed by the work that you actually have to do to adapt to emerging technologies.
That is cool beans. We have another, somebody says, Rashida says, well stated, Coach DC. Thank you. Is that one of your?
Yes, one of my colleagues, an extraordinary professional herself, extraordinary professional. Very, it means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
That is cool beans. And, what's one, when we talk about mediation, because I do mediation, I used to for the government, when we talk about mediation and meditation, I stand corrected, gratitude that you do daily that keeps you centered. What's one, while navigating this AI translation, what's one practice that you do
that keeps me centered while navigating?
That keeps you centered, yes.
You know what? It is focusing on those things that make me uniquely human. Here's what makes me, and you too, Jose, but the listener, creativity, right? So I stay centered in what I'm thinking about and what I am envisioning for the future. Back earlier in this interview, I shared, right, like my faith walk. A part of it was seeing the vision, but not necessarily centered in this vision. I also take time, though, to refine my vision, to make sure that I'm clear about my vision. This is the time of the year that I generally do it. I have a program at FaithFocusFlow. It's toward the end of December. That is about vision, creating a vision for your business, right, that fits into the life that you want to have. And so the way I'm adjusting in this AI world, I have a vision for my life. And the vision to accomplish is the impact. It's not the how, right? It's the impact. So if you stay focused on the impact, AI can help you with the how. And you don't get overwhelmed and think that AI is going to take over your life, because all artificial intelligence is doing and other technology, the only thing those things are doing is helping you get to the vision that you have, right? They're all tools that help you get to the vision.
That makes sense, which brings us to the next question that somebody asked. And it says, hey, TC, Yvette here. What I hear you saying is that mindfulness can help leaders make clear and more empathetic decisions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because mindfulness keeps you centered in your humanity and the humanity of others. So absolutely, you make decisions not from a perspective of responding to whatever it is that's happening that needs a response, but you make a decision rooted in the truth of who you know you are and the vision that you are looking to accomplish. Absolutely. Thank you, Yvette.
Yeah. So we're going to take one last break, and we come back. We're going to talk. You have mentioned that the faith focus flow. So we can talk about it and what exactly that is and the other great, outstanding stuff that you'll be doing up in his house. I know. Okay, settle down. And ladies and gentlemen, please bring those questions. Keep asking questions, and Ms. TC will answer them. We'll come back right after this break. Thank you.
Sacred flowers, sacred mother, earth is crying for daughters. Flowers, sacred mother, earth is crying for daughters. Where have you gone? Who took them from us? Who stole them from us? Ours. Sacred flowers, sacred mother, earth is crying. Sacred flowers, sacred mother, earth is crying for daughters. Blooming life on the res to our lives. You are missing your miss. Sacred flower.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Whack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions.
The web at MB Radio.
Welcome back. All right. Yay, Saturday night. Okay. We left off on the Faith Focus Flow for we talk about value center. What conversations are happening that people are hungry for? Ahora mismo, right now.
Mindset shifts. It is, I would say, the main conversation that we are having in the Faith Focus Flow community is around mindset, renewal of our minds daily, renewing our minds, centering ourselves. And now listen, we're talking about Faith Focus Flow. I love talking about Faith Focus Flow. And we can go real, and I'll go get real. Well, listen, we're going to flow with it. But I'll say it is renewal of our minds. It is being centered and the promises of Christ. It is being centered in who God says that we are. The Bible gives us so many examples of how to live, how to be, how to do business, how to approach challenges in the world. And so we do a lot of training at in the Global Learning Center around actually using the internet and tools to build online brands, to enhance their businesses and, expand their personal brands. There's a lot of that work going on, but a lot of the core of it right now is getting centered in who we are, so that our community can confidently move in this age of AI without fear, without being pessimistic, without following, what these trends are that tell us that AI is taking over all of the jobs and no one's going to have a job. We're all going to be destitute and human beings are not going to be needed or have purpose, right? So our community, we are focused on knowing that we are purpose. We are here for it. And artificial intelligence and other emerging technology, there are tools that are at our disposal to do the work. I like to call it work with a capital W that we are called to do. That's what we're talking about over there, and I love it.
You are absolutely correct. And when you talk about faith and fear, so if somebody right now is listening and they're stuck between playing it safe and taking a leap toward, let's say something they're called to do, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, take a step forward, right? So sometimes it's time to take a leap, and Holy Spirit will let you know when it's time to leap, right? This is why you have a practice of meditation and mindfulness. Start your day with meditation, mindfulness, and being centered, rooted in the word, right? Start your day, because God will let you know when it's time to take a leap. But what God has already let you know, if you have a vision and a heart to do something, is that it's time to take a step. So take a step, right? Because every step leads you to the next step. And with every step, you grow more confident, you get more more clear, you have more clarity about what you're doing, and you get to the next step. So that's what I advise people to do. Take a step right now. Whoever's listening to this, there is something that, because you're listening, I know this, right? God has placed something in your heart, on your mind, entrepreneurial, intrapreneurial. There is something that you've been pondering and waiting. Take one step. Decide you're going to take the first step, and then you're going to take another one and another one and another one. And then you'll know when it's time to leap, but you will have built the muscles to leap far.
Yes. And I got a question on my phone. Question: how has mindfulness helped you make better decisions or manage conflict? From our girl, Yvette, 1H.
How has it made me make better decisions and manage conflict?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with the managed conflict. Mindfulness has helped me manage conflict by staying rooted in truth and staying rooted in the vision for what I want to accomplish. A lot of times when faced with conflict, people react to the emotion, right? So you feel a certain kind of way because of whatever it is that you're dealing with, right? You have a feeling about it, or you want someone else to feel something, a particular way, or do a particular thing. And so you can act based on that feeling. What being mindful will do is have you take actions rooted in what your vision is for what you want the end to be, right? It is negotiating, reacting with the end in mind. It is acting instead of reacting with the end in mind. So that's how mindfulness helps me. And I coach around this, helps my clients deal with conflict. And right now, or even deal with being in a hostile environment. Right? Sometimes we find ourselves in what we think is a hostile environment, but we've got to be there because God has not let us out of that environment yet. So being mindful while in that environment is all about staying rooted in the vision for what you want your work, your life to be, how you want to feel, and then making decisions that get you to that, not decisions based on what's happening or you
Right.
feel like what's happening to you. That also plays into the clarity around making decisions, right? Because you make decisions when you're dealing with conflict.
Absolutely. And we have another question that says, how can we introduce gratitude practices with our teams without making them feel it's forced or superficial?
I love that. You know what? A part of it is talking about wins. Some of it is talking about, if you think about team meetings, how can you start your team meetings allowing people to brag on themselves a little bit, less making bragging on yourself or bragging on your team member a thing. Because certainly in a performance review, we will point out the things that are not going well.
Right.
So that's always going to happen. So that's one way. And when you allow people to brag on themselves and brag on others, you build a culture around that. That's gratitude. That allows gratitude to be built into creating an environment where people are focused on the wins, and you celebrate small wins, large wins. They're all wins. They're all accomplishments. This got done. And so it also kind of moves you out of, oh, they did that. Well, that's their job. They're supposed to do that, right? There's no recognition because that's their job, whatever. No, let's recognize the things that are happening that are allowing the engine that's making our work go forward, go faster. Let's acknowledge that and let that acknowledgement be a part of the culture.
Cool. Well, one of the things I want to bring up is how people can reach you. How can they reach you, right? So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, and we'll start with your website. What do we have here? What's this website for?
So Coach TC is my little home on the web. I run a couple of businesses. And so Coach TC is where I bring the essence of those businesses together. And it really is about the work that I feel called to do in this world. So you can find out about my travels. I travel a lot for my work. It is all a part of work, travel, and this creating work that you love so it doesn't feel like work because it's a part of life. So travel stories are on Coach TC. Opportunity to sign up for our Faith Engineer newsletter, which is a faith-centered business newsletter. Opportunity to sign up for my corporate advisory company's newsletter, which is about AI and emerging technology insights. And I'm an executive coach. So for people who want to work with me directly, not necessarily through one of the businesses that I have the pleasure and blessing to lead, that is there too. So Coach, and I advise professionals to have a branded website, a home on the web where people can learn about who they are, the types of things that they do to get more of a holistic view of who they are and what they're doing in the world. That's what Coach TC is.
All right. There's the website. I'll be putting it up again. And voila, you have on Instagram, FaithFlow Focus. And I loved it. I did check it out. Go ahead.
We have a lot of good stuff. So 2 businesses that I run, UpwardAction Advisory, which is a consultancy that works with organizations and leaders on leading with clarity in the age of AI through corporate on-demand training programs and executive coaching for teams. So that's the work I do with Upward Action, right? Then the other business that I have, and I do that not by myself. The other business that I have the pleasure of running is FaithFocusFlow. That's what's up here now. And we do all types of fun things at FaithFocusFlow. They're free resources, all designed to help people stay focused, stay centered in who they are and be productive with doing the work that God has called them to do, all from a faith-centered perspective. And so you're on our FaithFocusFlow website where you see our free business tools. People can sign up and be a part of our academy. But if folks are not ready to be a part of the academy or our institute, rather, there are lots of free tools. And so that's on that particular FaithFocusFlow site. Again, Coach TC is the hub. So if you're following me and you're interested in the things that I'm doing, you can find out about all of the businesses and the other types of programs from our hub, from my personal hub, which is Coach TC. But those are free business resources, and they change. They change like sometimes quarterly, and it's all dependent upon the feedback that I get from the newsletter, what we are offering, because the goal is to always be offering content and tools and resources that's relevant to our community.
Cool beans. And you also have your LinkedIn page.
I do. It is I would say our LinkedIn page is very focused on the corporate work. So I describe what we do at Upward Action Advisory. And so my LinkedIn page is a personal LinkedIn page, but it is very focused on the corporate work. Although from LinkedIn, you can also find out about what we're doing at FaithFocusFlow.
Cool beans. This is stupendous. People, check them all out because they are awesome. I love them. I loved it. And for someone, let's say, who wants to lead differently, to integrate faith with, let's say, their work, what's the first small step they can do tomorrow? I know you covered some of that, but, that's one of the things.
Start your day with intention. That is the number one most important thing that you can do to lead from a faith-centered perspective, to lead from a grounded perspective, lead yourself so that you can lead others, right? We got to first lead ourselves before we lead others. You start it with how you start your day. Even if you are tremendously busy and you have no time, when you wake up in the morning, give yourself the first however many minutes you can to be grateful that you opened your eyes and that you have breathed, you had a breath, right? So that you are here and you have another opportunity to do whatever it is that is on your heart to do. That's the first thing you do. For my faith-centered people, start with the word. There are all types of ways to start your day with the word. I have a Bible study program I love. It's called She Reads Truth. And it's how I start. So if I'm having a very busy day, I know that it will take me no longer than 10 minutes. If I feel that compressed, I try to have more time than that. But if I feel that compressed, to read through the She Reads Truth, right? Bible study. But there are apps. Abide is an app, right? ABIDE. And it has like a 3-minute mindfulness reflection that's centered in faith. And I promise you, when you start your day centered in faith, rooted in who you are, who God says you are, and the power that you have in this world through the power that lives and resides inside of you, it is going to transform how you interact with everything and everyone.
Oh, somebody say great episode. Okay. Hey, it's getting out there. And as we get ready to wind down, TC, is there anything you would like to say that maybe we didn't cover it? Anything you want to put out to everybody out there, the things you do, your faith, anything that's important, especially in these times that people need to gravitate to, in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. Leaving with the final thought, it is remember that you are here for a purpose. You are here during this particular point in the history of the world to show up in a way that only you can. And it is essential that you take the time to center yourself so that you believe in yourself, you're confident in the abilities that God has given you to impact the world. Because if you don't impact the world in the way that God has called you to do it, no one else can. And impacting the world starts with impacting whoever crosses your path and whoever crosses your path. It can be a smile. It can be a nod. It can be a little joke. It can be any type of a point of connection. That's the start. And if you are intentional about knowing who you are and that you're purposed and that you have the ability to impact other people just through how you show up, you will start to do the work that God has called you to do so that you can do your part in making the earth more like it is in heaven.
Wow. TC, that's powerful. Absolutely. Faith is so important in everything we do. I know it is for me. And let me see, we got one more question here. Oh, and somebody say legacy starts with purpose.
Amen. Amen. Legacy stuff. I'll just say one quick thing about that.
Go ahead, say it. We got time.
Talk a lot about legacy, right? And
yeah.
Legacy is really important. Legacy does start with purpose and how you show up every day. You build your legacy as you live your life, right? Legacy isn't some like big out there thing. I hear that word a lot and people talking about legacy a lot, but it's how you show up every day.
Yes.
That's your legacy. I'll just share. Sadly, in my family, we had a loss. My first cousin passed away suddenly from an illness, and at his homegoing service, he passed away suddenly from an illness. And the homegoing service, while very sad, was very beautiful because the legacy that he left his family is how he lived his life every day and the people he impacted every day, because he didn't know when the end would be.
Right.
So he lived every day in a powerful way. And that's legacy. We do it in business. It's how you show. Oh gosh, I know we got to go, but I'll just say, how you show up, right? But how you show up in your work every day. It's taking one step every day, one step. That's the legacy that you're building as time goes on, as you're moving forward. It doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing that you overstep. And here's the thing, even if you're not clear about the ultimate vision, you're often clear about the next step. Right?
Absolutely.
So take that step. And it will become more and more clear as you continue to walk. Anyway, when we said legacy, that's what I thought about. And I think it's important. It keeps us moving and it keeps us out of overthinking and being fearful that the world is falling apart because of a new emerging technology.
Absolutely. Somebody said legacy, that's my future business name.
Ooh, I'm like, all right. Let's make it your current business. Let's start it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, somebody said, okay.
Let's move forward.
Yes. I mean,
I'm a lawyer, so now I'm like, listen, let's look at the let's get it registered, right? Let's formulate the plan. Let's look at the IP, the intellectual property, because if God has placed it on your heart, let's take one step.
Absolutely. I always said you will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You can't take it with you. But
listen,
you
cannot take it with you.
You cannot. But when we talk about legacy, but people will remember you for who you were, your actions, your word, your faith. That's so important these days. So TC, I just want to say thank you. You fill me with a lot of motivation and a lot of love. I feel the love, and I think people watching this, who will be watching it, feels it too, about your passion or what you want to do in the difference you are making in this world. And I, from me, want to say thank you. Gracias por todo. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. And so real quick, what's in the future? What's coming up next for TC later on?
Oh gosh, what's in the future? So what's in the near future, in December, we're doing our annual vision, our year-end wrap-up and vision board meeting. That's what we do in the FaithFocusFlow community. I'm super excited about that. You can sign up for our list on coach.T.com. Sign up for the Faithpreneur newsletter. I'm also excited about the AI readiness programs that we have, that we're launching. It is all about helping our community feel confident that they understand what artificial intelligence is and how it can have a positive impact on their lives. We want our community to understand how to think about this emerging technology and how to partner with it. Because regardless of this conversation, is it a boom or is it like, is it a bust? Like, what's going on? At the end of the day, emerging technology will not end. Technology is always emerging. Right now, we're in a rapid pace, right? Acceleration. And so I'm excited about the AI readiness courses. People can find out about those if you go to Coach TC. You'll see AI, Upward Action AI Insights. If you want to stay connected with what we're doing in that space, sign up for that newsletter. I keep them separate because, sometimes people want to, we share information for the audience that wants it, but those are the two things that I have coming. I'm going to have one more thing. Actually, I have an announcement.
Go ahead.
Here. So I have had the tremendous blessing over the past 18 months to visit 22 cities in 6 continents. And so I'm putting together a book, a reflective look at what I've learned about people, culture, and technology through 18 months in that series. So stay tuned. Both of our communities will learn about that when it's launched.
Girl, you're stupendous. And when you're up there on the red carpet, remember, I'll have you back on the show. And you're getting, look, people are saying, thank you for your wisdom, sharing your wisdom, you know, somebody I put something, best viewer stream boo or something like that. Okay. Got it. But I want to say thank you.
Thank you
for being here, and we're gonna have you back. You know, when I knew that lady.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Hey, we all with one team, one fight. We share. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody else, thank you for showing up and being here, and the stupendous questions. It was just awesome, and I'm excited. You made my week, TC. Thank you for filling me. We all need to do. Somebody said real quick, how do you register? I'm assuming for that thing coming up on. Go ahead.
So if you go to coach..Not, if you're interested in the faith work, you'll see the FaithFocusFlow newsletter, sign up. And if you're interested in the AI emerging technology work, you'll see UpwardAction AI Insights. So you can sign up all on Coach TC. That is the platform that talks about the totality of the work that I am doing, the good that I'm trying to do here.
Yes, and you are. You're making a difference. So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, everyone have a good one. TC, gracias por todo. Thank you for everything. And everybody, I'm excited for the future now.
Be
Thank
blessed.
you so much. Yeah, okay. Gracias.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.